mind meeting me during the day. It's very careful. You know, we are the things that dreams are made of. The sweet ones, after all. We are the dream makers, the dream shapers. It's a little changeling ability we have called oniromancy. That's right. I've told you before, you're a changeling, and now that we know what you are, now that we know what your place will be in the mortal world, you need to know your true power. Changelings don't win fights. Changelings sleep on it. And by popping a glamour, yes, you can walk through any threshold and enter the hedge and seek out the gates of horn or bone, or focus on a mortal's mind, hold something of theirs, and if you wish, you may fall asleep and wake up in their dream, and from there they're vulnerable. There all their lusts and desires and secrets start running around, and as long as you're smart about it, you can blend in someone's psychic bastion. Think of it as their castle. Think of it as a place for your persona to step up and take what's yours. Run through it. Take their treasure. Little notes about that. The Gate of Horn is the easiest one to get to. That's physically in the hedge itself. You physically find a gate made of, well, ivory or horn, and you step through the horned one. You are awake, you are physical, but without glamour to really influence the world, you won't get very far. Remember, the hedge is hungry for your glamour, and if you give, it will allow, it will perchance to dream. That is your purpose. Now, the Gate of Ivory is the more dangerous one. I wouldn't recommend doing that without your motley. Do not solo someone's ivory gate. It's back here in your head. Ivory's easier to play with. You can step into your own world, and from there, the world just becomes your big old chalkboard, if you will. Write it out, draw it out. You can fortify your own dream bastion that way. You'll be safer there, a bit more free-floating. But when you physically enter that Gate of Horn, you're at the will, and sometimes the lack of mercy, of the dreamer you're stepping into. It's not just mortals who will build up bastions to keep you out. Other changelings can. Or perhaps your fetch will. Or, if you can catch them unaware, even your keeper. Imagine planting a thought on that. You must be very careful. If you enter the hedge and you're close to, say, oh, an old burned down school, yes, the hedge plants will take the shape of desks all in a row, and you'll have self-erasing blackboards behind you. You'll always hear nursery rhymes in the air, bullies scoffing, young girls laughing from tiled bathroom halls. Perhaps your teacher is a retired gym teacher and everything is thrown at you. It's dodgeball 24/7. And if you blend in, if you cast a few glamours, use a few contracts, you can pull some secrets. But the other question is, who do you get to compose your motley? You do have options. You must be very careful, though. There are loyalists out there, changelings who are still indebted to, or worse, in love with their keepers. They're fair folk, and still treat them fairly. A loyalist will do anything to not be put back in a cage, even trade you, the mortals that you love, your touchstones, your whole team, just to give their ass another year in the mortal world, another year of freedom as the noose tightens. And then you have bridge burners. Beware the quiet bridge burners. They're the ones that say, "You took me from my family, you will not take my daughter, you'll never cross through this world again." Yes, by all means, break every mirror, call out to them, burn every bridge, destroy every threshold, kill every changeling you see, to stop the gentry from coming and taking any more. Cut off all the trods that your freehold has built, cut off access to your hollow, cut off our ability to contact the goblins, go to the goblin markets, recover icons lost in the thorns. Bridge burners are dangerous, irrational. They are easily manipulated, though. You can absolutely work with a bridge burner, but beware the bridge burner that ends up inheriting a seasonal crown. And the whole court's agenda is dangerous. I've not told you about courts, have I? No, I've not. This is what makes it so hard. Why the gentry take us. Humans. Yes. The gentry are solipsistic. Do you understand? They see themselves as the only subjects in a world full of objects. Arcadia is their dreams, created forever, whatever they want, immediately. Their whims and fancies, their endless wars, their giant stone bastions built of blood and mammoth tusks, all to be torn down, snapped away in an instant. But then there are humans. Humans have fates that they can rewrite. Humans have emotions that they can reap, and feelings and reactions that they cannot control, cannot predict. Maybe they sculpt it to understand that other things can feel the way that the gentry can feel. So what do we do when we escape? We strong, surviving changelings, we gather together in motleys, yes, but then freeholds, cities, counties, states, countries, are run by typically 4 seasonal courts. They take over a quarter every year, because the gentry can't understand cause and effect. They can't understand the passage of time linearly, numbers leading up to other numbers, or the calendar flipping itself over. The passage of time, the linear passage of time, the way that time starts with a number and goes, it hurts them. Oh, don't worry, that's not mine. I think most importantly, it's not yours. Seasonal courts! Yes. We come out of the hedge, terrified, survivors, refugees in a world that is no longer ours, that we are only half a part of, our soul incomplete, left on the thorns. So what do changelings do? We band together and we make contracts and pledges to universal truths of the mortal world. Ah, the 4 seasonal courts. I do wonder which one you will end up joining. Courts are magnificent. They not only give you access to new contracts based on their loyalties, you can also gain goodwill toward other courts. It helps in the political tiny games and plots that changelings and those in power need to play. After all, if you walk around with a hammer long enough, the world looks like nails. If you walk around with a chessboard strapped to your chest long enough, you will see the pawns for the summer kings and queens. Your mien, your true changeling face, will start to take effect the more time you spend within the courts, as well as sometimes your physical face. If you spend too long with the court of summer, perhaps you will be sweaty more frequently, your breath always hotter than it's meant to be. Perhaps there will be steam lines coming out. But what are those seasonal courts? There is the Emerald Court, the Court of Desire, the Antler Crown of Spring, those damn dirty hippies, all about starting over and living fresh in a giant commune. Those are contracts of healing, regeneration, desire. Make the person desire you, or change what they desire. And then play with that. That may be your key. Make them desire something else, and you can go into their dream more easily. That's what the summer court would avoid the most, manipulating others. But the spring court, you'll do well to sign up with them, and most people will originally. Who doesn't want to romp and fall under the hyacinth boughs? Who doesn't want to sup its sweet summer water under a bridge? The summer court would not. The summer court, the crimson court, of the iron spear, the ones that say no, that brow-beating fraternity, the powers of heat and flame and rage. The summer court is of wrath. Displace wrath. Create wrath. Stop yourself from feeling wrath. Light yourself in the corona of the sun itself. Fire rays. If you're so inclined, if you are truly loyal to the sun, you will burn all in your path. The summer court is always full of liars. The summer court will also stand full of soldiers, ready to stop the fetch from learning, ready to stop the gentry from taking more, ready to beat the loyalist down until they swear loyalty to the summer court. They're so direct for changelings. Not a good fit for you, I think. I think for you, you should take a look at the Ashen Court, the Leaden Mirror, the secret seasonal witches of autumn, the Autumn Court, the one of secrets, of the occult, of fear. No other branch of Changeling believes that you should fight fire with fire by learning more about magic with magic. Yes, the Autumn Court will make Faustian covenants, but what dealing with the Fae are not dangerous and two-sided. They learn how to manipulate. They learn how to generate and create fear. Make those cower and cow before them. The Scarecrow Ministry used to be a secret branch of their organization, but the Ashen Court, the Leaden Mirror, is very selective about the changelings that it brings in, very picky about the mortals that they choose to ensorcel and keep under their thumb. The resources are vast. You will have libraries and incredible things that you would not imagine possible, but be careful. It's not just a court of magic, it's a court of regeneration, of healing, of harvest and reaping. The double-edged scythe of the Ashen Court. Perhaps you're better off with the Silent Arrow. Yes, the Blanched Icy Court, the Winter Court. Those who are unseen, they manipulate despair, create and harvest despair and sadness. The Unseen Court, you will never know if and when the Winter Court is in session or in control. They are a humble gathering of sad sorrows, sopping milkmaids, and yet, they never seem to go missing. They're a court of secrets. The Silent Arrow, the Winter Court, playing off of sadness, what was lost, what can be lost again. Oh, but they're good. They're good because you don't even know that they're working or not. Which of those courts will work best for you, I wonder? Stay with it too long, and summer's heat or winter's chill will follow you room to room. Oh, but those powers, they're worth it. For the quarter of a year that you are in power, and for the rest of it, just stay low. Stay low during the night when autumn is at its peak, or stay low during the day while summer is at its best. But for now, friend, I think that's enough of that. Enough of running through dreams. Let's do something palpable. Yes. Now, the reason I asked you to join me today is we are needed for a gathering by the Summer King himself. There is an oath-breaker within our ranks of the Freehold, and I just need you to hold the lantern for a little bit. I'm going to get some net, maybe a large stick, join some friends. There is a hunt on, you see, child. So walk alongside me and I'll tell you more about it. You see, the best practice on being a good threat is being able to hunt and capture an even bigger threat. Let the hunt begin.
Crawling flat on broken glass to you, to you, to you. Scratch it up and turn, catch a fire and burn for you.